John Falstrom back here at EADG 4 Headquarters West, 45 minutes south of the historic Wrigley Field. Right now, I want to do musical terms. Musical terms for the bass. I think you got to know them. What happens is sometimes you might get thrown by a musical term that you don't know, and it puts you in another place where it actually is very easy. Okay. So these terms are going to I'm going to use most of them. We're going to get most of them. Dave behind the camera, Dave Taylor, is going to read off the terms because I don't have them memorized. And Dave will read it off, and I'll explain it. All right, Dave, what's one?
All right, the first one is arpeggio.
Okay, arpeggio. That's when you take the notes of a chord, which is a root third and fifth, or in a basic chord is a root third and fifth. And I'll just use a major chord. Arpeggio means you're just playing the notes one at a time. So I'll use A. Here's an A. Now here's a major third, and here's a perfect fifth. So an arpeggio means you're playing the notes not together. No, that's together. Don't worry about that. Like a guitar or piano, we play them till we create bass lines. Playing an arpeggio, you can play it any way you want. A, C sharp, and E. You can play them anywhere on the bass. Here's an A, here's a C sharp. That's an arpeggio. Same notes. That's an arpeggio too. So you can play them any way you want. Okay, next, Dave.
Ascend.
Ascend. Now this is important. Ascending means you're going up in pitch. Here's an A, here's a C, D, F, you're going higher. So going this way is going up on the bass, you're ascending. Okay? Or we can ascending going vertically, like here's your A again. Now, we went down, but that pitch is higher, because the string is thinner. Here's an A, here's an F. So that's an ascend too. Here's an ascend too. Okay? Ascending means going up. Dave, next.
We do have the bass clef symbol.
Bass clef symbol is that little boop, 2 dots. Okay, that's for reading music. Want to know that. Dave, next.
All right, descend.
Descend. Okay, it's the opposite of ascend. So descend is going this way toward the headstock. This is the headstock tuning pegs. Descend going down. It's very important. I get a lot of guys who think this is going down. You're thinking wrong. This is going down. So here's an A. We're going down from 5th fret, obviously, to 1st fret. So you're going down. Okay? Pitches are going down. This is all going down, okay? Now we can go from here. Now watch this. Here's another example of change of string. Here's D here. Watch this. Even we're going higher in fret, but lower in string. So this is going down too. That's descending because we're going lower strings. That's an octave lower. That's descend. Okay, going down in pitch. All right, Dave, what do you got next?
8 VA.
The octave. That's 8 VA is a symbol for when you're reading music, and I recommend it very, very highly. In fact, unless you're in a rock band or a band that's doing very well without reading, and you're kind of like an independent, like me, at this point, you got to read music. Well, sure, you're shortchanging yourself out of a lot of opportunities. That's basically it. You're slamming the door on tremendous amount of opportunities. 8 VA is a musical term in reading music where they got a part written down, say D, C, B, A. And it's actually, they want you to play it up here. So what they'll do is they'll write it down here and put the 8 VA over it. Means play it an octave higher. Because we don't want all those ledger lines going way high, all these notes way up. So they'll go, and they'll put 8 VA over it, so I know we got to go an octave higher. It plays an octave higher. All right, Dave, next.
Enharmonic.
Enharmonic, good call. Enharmonic. Now, I basically, every note except, let me see if I can get this right, G, D, and A have enharmonics. G doesn't have an enharmonic, D does not, and A, but all the other ones do. Means you can be called 2 names. So my example in the book, I use C sharp and D flat. That's a C sharp or a D flat. Here's a C or a B sharp. That does exist, B sharp. There's a B or a C flat, B flat. But how do you know what to call it? I mean, do you think of both names at the same time? No. You circle of fifths, knowing your keys, that's why you have key signatures. So if we're in the key of A, you come to that guy, that's a C sharp. There are no flats in A. There's 3 sharps. So you think of all your notes as sharps. That's a C sharp. Okay? Not a D. If you said D flat, you're actually wrong. Even though you can call it that, but the theory, obviously, your theory is kind of messed up. Then, if you're thinking A, D flat, that doesn't exist in a key. So it depends on what key you're in. Some keys have flats, some keys have sharps. You never mix the two. There's no keys with sharps and flats. So it's either going to be a flat or a sharp. That's how you know what to call it. I know a lot of guys think when you go up, you call it sharp. When you go back down, call it flat. Makes no sense at all. So wipe that out. All right, Dave, next.
Flat.
Flat. All right, flat is, got to make sure. Flat is, say this is a D, going down 1 fret. D to D flat. Or D to C sharp. Depends what key you're in. If we're in the key of A, that would be a C sharp, okay? So you're going down 1 fret. You're flattening a note. Down is this way. Dave?
Frets.
Frets. Okay, the frets separate the pitches. The metal is the frets. The metal part. So here's my 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. Leo Fender put frets on. He was the first one to put frets on a bass, and he called it precision. Fender Precision bass was the first bass. And he thought of the name precision because what the frets do is, before the electric bass, you had the upright bass with no frets. So a lot of times your notes weren't precise on the fretless. So with the frets, it made your pitches precise. So if a piano player hits a G, you hit your G, you're precisely in tune because of the fret. You can play it any way you want, but it's going to be exactly in tune. So that's where precision came from. The name of the bass, and Leo Fender was the first one to do that. And dot markers, you want to know, they're there for a reason. The first dot is your 3rd fret, 2nd dot's the 5th, 3rd dot's the 7th. You definitely want to memorize 1st dot 3, 2nd dot 5, 3rd dot 7, 4th fret 9. Double dots is the 12th fret. Double dots means now repeat sign to me. In music you have to repeat signs because now these notes repeat, same exact order, but an octave higher. So I think of this as the 1st dot, passed. So that's the 15th fret, 2nd dot, and the 3rd dot, 19th fret. So your 15th fret, which is your 1st dot, passed, is the same note as that, the 1st dot down here. 2nd dot is A, 2nd dot is A, and so on. Next, Dave?
Half step.
Half step. Half step is going 1 fret, either up or down, ascend, descend. So here's A, go down a half step, go up a half step. Now here's what you got to learn about these half steps. From here to here is a half step. A, B flat. That B flat is right here too. So you want to get to know that on your bass. That's a half step going up. So is that A, B flat, A, B flat, D, E flat, D, E flat. That's a half step. Now here you're going down, no problem. Or B flat to A. That's a half step. Dave?
Improvisation.
Okay, improvisation is just taking. You can improv on a lot of things. Say you know a scale. Here's a D major scale, and you just kind of just make up anything you want. You put them in any order. It's really something you really don't practice. Improv is you don't practice true improv. True improv is right at the moment, spur of the moment. So the second you're playing, you're just coming up, you're reacting to what you're hearing, what you're seeing. So improv is spur of the moment, playing, improvising, making up stuff. So the more you know, the better your improv's going to be. Dave?
Key signature.
Key signature. That's in music. In front of a piece of music, or they'll say 3 sharps, 2 sharps. That tells you the scale you're playing in. So key is scale. The 7 notes in the scale. Here's A. Here's the key of A. Right here. That's the scale. So the key of A has 3 sharps. 1, C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. There's your 3 sharps. So key signature, if I saw a piece of, someone said 3 sharps, I know I'm in the key of A major or F sharp minor, which is a relative minor. This stuff's all in my book. The theory, like I said, I'm not going to spoon feed all this stuff. It'll take too long. And I might get dragged down. I want to stay on this roll. But again, key signatures are very important because it tells you what notes you're going to use in the song. So key is the 7 different notes in a major or minor scale. So key of D has 2 sharps. If I see 2 sharps, someone says 2, I know I'm in key of D, major or B minor. Okay? 2 flats, B flat. Simple as that. It's like directions. All right, Dave.
Metronome.
Metronome is key. Metronome is one of those things that keeps your beat for you. This is good for your timing, to see where you're at, to bounce off. I use a drum machine a lot, and you play along with it. It builds in really perfect time where you play between the beats. I like using metronomes and drum machines because that's how you learn how to get those cool rhythms in between the beats. You feel it, okay? Or tap your foot. I recommend you got to tap your foot. You use your foot as a metronome. Tap it. Keep it steady. Try to, but you'll see just by playing. Play along with enough songs, pre-recorded songs, you'll get good rhythm. Dave?
Natural notes.
Natural notes. There's 7 natural notes in music. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Then back to A. Okay? That's the musical alphabet. Dave?
Natural sign.
Natural sign. It's a little like box. Boom, boom, boom. That means that if you're in the key of A, you put a C on a piece of music, you just put it by itself, you're gonna play a C sharp because you're in the key of A. But if you see a natural sign by it, you go to a C natural. It's just canceling out a sharp or a flat. Next, Dave.
Octave.
Octave. Okay, here's A. An octave is a note that's exactly twice as high. So here's A and its octave. Okay, here's B and its octave. Here's E and its octave. Here's E and its lower octave. It's just twice as low or high as the note you're hitting. Dave?
Parallel keys.
Parallel keys. Really easy. Here's A major. Here's A minor. A minor is the parallel minor key to A, which means a minor scale that has the same root. So here's A major. The parallel minor is A minor. Same with D, D major. Parallel minor, D minor. Got it, Dave.
Pitch.
Pitch. That's just the exact sound of your notes. There's that A pitch. There's that A pitch. There's that A pitch. Obviously that's a lower. That's a middle. There's a high. So it's the sound of your notes. Dave.
Rhythm.
Rhythm is, alright, rhythm is what I was talking about with the metronome. You got that downbeat. Putting those in-between notes on the upbeats. That rhythm. That's a rhythm. Very important. Like I said, to play with a beat. I think it is. Dave?
Riff.
Okay, a riff is classic. A riff is something where it repeats throughout the song. It keeps coming back. I'll just make up one. So it's like, we'll say the riff is. Now you play the song, then you're playing it, then all of a sudden you hear that, it's going to come back to that riff the whole song, okay? It's a reoccurring through the song. It's like a little motif, a little theme. Dave?
Root.
Okay, root is very important because that's when you play a scale chord, root is your first note. It's another name for first note. It's your tonal center. The most important note in the scale or chord. Dave?
Sharp.
Okay, sharp. There's G, G sharp, going up, 1 fret. Okay, sharpen a note. Every note can get sharped. Dave?
Tones.
Tone is used, you can use tone as 2 terms. Tone can be used as, when you talk about notes in a chord, say, we'll go A7, A major 7. we call them chord tones instead of notes. Well, here are the chord tones of A. It's A, C sharp, E, F, G sharp. Okay, that's one way of looking at the word tone, or another way of looking at tone is the sound of your notes. You know, that's louder, or I can add treble. So you got your treble, bass, mid-range definition of tone. All right, let me get my okay, Dave, next.
Tuning.
Tuning is huge. Tuning is like tying your shoes. That's how good you got to be at it. Expect to be always tuned first. You know, when you pick up your bass, don't get mad at it because it's out of tune. Expect it to be out of tune. Okay, so always have your hands here, up here, because you can always check your bass. And the tuners today are great, but again, you want to be able to tune by ear. Eventually, that's your goal. That should be a goal. You can't rely on those tuners all the time, but again, a great invention. But here I'm just matching G's, matching D's, and matching A's on the 5th fret. This is old school, but you got the harmonics, 7 and 5, matching harmonics, same pitch, matching octaves. The veterans know what I'm talking about. But again, tuners are good, but be able to tune without a tuner. But again, tuning is to be expected. It's like tying your shoes when you put them on. You pick up your bass, something's going to be out of tune probably. All right, Dave.
Unison.
Unison, very good. This is very important for bass players and guitar players. Unisons are notes with the same pitch. Here's a G. So I'm saying, okay, it's G. Well, is that the only G on this bass like that? No, here's a unison. It's like a double, twin. There's a G that's got the same pitch. There's another G. Same pitch. See, you can use this as tuning. This is all perfectly in tune. Same exact pitch. So you got this G, this G, this G, and this G. You decide where you want to play it. You and you alone. Okay, that's a unison. Here's another unison. I'll go D. Here's right there and here. Exactly the same. It's important because it strengthens your bass. So when I play this D right here, I can play it here too. And these notes like that are the same as these. And here's D up here. Same notes. D, E flat, E and F. D, E flat, E and F. D, E flat, E and F. Here's a D, D, D. All the same pitch, unison. You decide where to play it. Your call. Dave?
All right, last one. Whole step.
Whole step. All right, very important. Whole step is 2 frets. A note 2 frets apart. So you got A to A. You go up, ascending, or descending. Now, obviously, those are easy when you see them, but get to the one with the open string. So here's open G. F is a whole step down from G. Here's your G unison. You look at it that way. Okay? Or up. Whole step. These are all whole steps. 2 frets apart. Dave, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, that's a lot of my musical terms in the EADG4. Again, you gotta know these terms. Well, you don't have to, but again, it's like learning lingo. We don't get lost. You know, it's like something very easy, and you get lost, and they start the song. You got a lot of problems. Okay, got to eliminate that. Start eliminating the unknown. You know, keep learning the unknown, and pretty soon, once you know more than you don't know, then you'll conquer. Okay. All right, John Falstrom, February 18th, 2017. We're here at EADG4 headquarters. We got a special guest in the house today. An old buddy of mine and a former A student, Derek Taylor, is in the house today. Happy he's here. He's with his dad, Dave, behind my right hand in this EADG4 series. And I'm glad to see him. All right, I might be back. Thanks.